Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Anchorage Ice Tigers draft category MyNBA here in NBA 2K26. So in last episode, if you did not catch it, we had the conference finals versus the Los Angeles Lakers, and we managed to sweep them despite us thinking it was probably going to be our toughest series yet. It was actually our easiest one. And now we're going up into another NBA Finals looking to pull off the three-peat, but obviously we are running into the Philadelphia 76ers for the first time in a Finals. Now, what's kind of interesting is over, I think, the last 5 years, basically, the 76ers won back-to-back, then we won back-to-back, so whoever wins this will win their third championship within a short span. For us, it would be our third in a row. For them, it would be their third in 5 years. So both teams looking to cement themselves as a dynasty, which is quite exciting. So this is probably going to be the best finals we see in this entire series. I do think I still want to kind of plan out on playing this more after this finals is done. But I'm not too sure if you guys want me to keep on going. If we're going to win a 3 in a row, are we going to try for 4 or 5 or something like that? Are we going to wait till players start to retire before we end up ending the series? But let me know what you guys think on that, because I'd still like to go as far as possible in this, just because I feel like it's a lot of fun with how we've built up this roster. So anyways, like I was saying, the 76ers are going to be obviously our toughest opponent yet, probably in the finals, because last few times we made the finals, we had to take on Charlotte, and Charlotte was very easy. Washington was definitely a tougher team when we played them last year, and then obviously Philadelphia is the toughest team yet, just because of the fact if we go to the standings from the regular season, you could see technically in the entire league, they were the second best team in the entire NBA with a 62-20 record. So we're the only two teams with 60 plus wins this season. And if you look at like how they've played over the last little bit in the franchise mode as a whole, you could see that they've been very consistent at winning like 60 plus games for the last like almost like I would say 7 or 8 seasons, something like that. So they've been definitely really, really strong. The one thing that's a little bit weird, though, is when I look at their roster, I honestly don't think I see that crazy of a roster on paper. Like, there's some good players, of course, Macy and Harden and Edgecombe. But I don't understand how they've won so many championships and how they've consistently won 60-plus games, especially with the fact that there's been always injuries to Jared McCain, because McCain is once again going to be missing this finals, as is Rex Wright for us, though. But they do have some decent depth, so maybe it's just like some of these type of lower end 77 overall players, 80 overall players, 84 guys, this type of thing that really helps with their scoring or something like that. But I'm hoping that we can find a way to beat them, of course, because this definitely should be the hardest and most intriguing finals that we've had. Like, it could go to 7 games potentially based on how I'm seeing it. And I'm really hoping that we can find a way to win. As you can see, they do have some weaknesses, though, still. We technically don't have any weaknesses, so I'm wondering if that's going to make a difference or not. Technically, we're actually listed as a rival of theirs, which is kind of weird because we've never played them in the finals before. So kind of curious on how that's going to work out for these teams. But technically, we are by far a better offensive team. During the regular season, they were a better defensive team. So I guess it depends if they could outplay us in terms of defense. If they could basically contain our offense, that's when they could win. If our offense obviously goes on a really good stretch like it's typically done, we could obviously easily win the series too. So it's going to be very, very cool to see how the series ends up going. But anyways, with that said, let's get in your guys' comments, what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we'll get into yet another NBA Finals and see if this team could three-peat or not. So the first and only comment is from BunBun5506, who says, "Hey, I'm not sure if you know this, but as I am new, but for scouting, the blue bar above the red bar is actually the player's potential. The grade in my experience never matters in comparison to that. So if a guy has A+ potential, but his blue bar is below the red bar average, it's going to be lower than an A+. The potential grade is just the scouted one when the bar is more accurate." So I don't know exactly what he means by that. Like, he mentioned this, but like, I didn't even know this was a thing in 2K. But I guess if we go to prospect scouting, and he was saying the bar. Let's see. So if we go over to here. Oh, okay, yeah, that bar. Okay, yeah, now I understand what you mean. So he's saying basically if the blue bar is above the red bar, it means that the player's potential might be actually better. So for instance, if we look at this Holton dude, it says that basically his blue bar is above the red bar, so he actually might be a better potential player than a B, or he's actually at least a good potential player. If this blue bar was below the red bar, I think he said, yeah, if the blue bar was below the red bar, which is average, he would be worse. So he's basically better in potential than most people. This guy is around average on basketball IQ, average on athleticism, above average in rebounding. So I understand it now, at least with the comparison. So that's how we'll make sure we make the right pick when we are in the draft. So if we see anybody with a bunch of blue bars that are above the red bar, we know that he's above average. If he's more towards the red bar, he's more of an average player. And if he's below that, he is definitely a below average player. So I appreciate Bun Bun mentioning that, because I honestly had no idea that was even a thing. I didn't really understand what those bars meant, but now I do, so I'll definitely take that into account in future drafts. So anyways, I think we're ready for this finals. Obviously, like I said, Rex Wright will be missing this finals still too, which kind of sucks because obviously he's an important player and all that, but they are also missing their best player, or one of their best players, in Jared McCain. So hopefully we can find a way to win this. Let's actually rebuild our rotation here. Get the coach to do whatever he wants to do, because the coach is usually the smartest in terms of making the right decisions. So anyways, NBA Finals 2037, looking for a three-peat. Let's see how we do in game one, and hopefully we can build off that if it's a good game or not. So similarly with Simcast, and let's see what ends up happening. I honestly have no idea what to expect from the series. Most of the series before this, though, we've had like a pretty good idea of what our team could do against them, but we've never really played like the 76ers so much that we have an idea of what we're going to do. Like I said, both teams had 60 wins, so this could be either a really good series, it could be a really bad series, it could be a very even series. Tough to say, but let's see what happens in this first quarter and see if we could get off to a good start, as we do obviously have home court advantage. But yeah, this should be a really close series in a way. Like, there could be some games decided in overtime. There could be some games decided in the final minute. There could be even some games that honestly they're actually blowout wins or blowout losses. So this is going to be very intriguing. And if we win this, of course, then I guess we could say that we're officially better than they are. But if obviously they win, they could say that they're still maybe better than us in a way. At the end of the first quarter, looks like we're going to actually be outscoring them quite convincingly and playing some good defensive basketball. It's going to be a score of 33-22, so a nice start for our offense, which is good to see considering, like I said, they are a pretty strong defensive team. So far, leading the way is Washburn with 8 points through 5 minutes off the bench, which is fantastic. We have Westbrook on 6, Goodwin's on 5, Evans and Bishop are on 4, same with Semenko, Lloyd on 2. Carroll so far has nothing, same with Bridges and Olivero, but it looks like we're getting some good depth scoring, and we're not taking a lot of fouls in that first quarter either, so it's not like anybody's getting into any foul trouble early on. So liking that start. Let's keep it up. Let's get into the second quarter and see if we can maintain a big lead going into the second half as well. Second quarter underway. All right. Come on, boys. Don't sit back for too long, because obviously, like I said in prior episodes, that's usually when you get burnt. So we just got to keep on matching them point for point, and we will be fine. So, as we're still over 10 points ahead of them. So it looks like their offense is definitely having a tough time against our team, which is kind of surprising because, like I said, our team is okay defensively, but they're not as good defensively as the 76ers team is. So yeah, kind of surprised that we've been actually playing this good defensively as of late. Like, I think we had some good defensive games in the conference finals as well. And at halftime, we're going to be up 57-46. It was an even second quarter, 24 apiece, but we are up still by 11 points, of course. So that first quarter, obviously playing a big factor right now. Box score so far, Evans has dropped 11 points. He already has 3 fouls, though, so that's a little bit worrisome. We got to definitely hope the coach is managing his minutes a bit better so he doesn't foul out. But 3 fouls through halftime isn't that bad. It means he might foul out near the end of regulation, though. Washburn's on 10 points. We have Westbrook on 9, Goodwin on 7. Bishop's on 6 and 8 rebounds already. Bridges is on 6. Semenko's only on 4. Lloyd's on 4. Carroll still has no points. So there is a couple players that are glaring a little bit, like Semenko only having 4 points. Carroll having no points so far is not necessarily ideal. So those things I'd like to see if we could clean those up a bit. We're only shooting 41% from field goal range, but they're all shooting 37%. Our three-point shooting has been atrocious in this game. 1 for 14. Theirs is 5 for 16, which isn't that great either, but still, the fact that we only have 1 3-point made all game, yet we're up by 10 points is kind of crazy. We've had a lot more trips to the free throw line, so that might be the difference in the game, but you can see also both teams have shot the ball quite well at the moment. So, yeah, I don't like the fact that our 3-point shooting has been pretty bad, because obviously we could be up by a lot more if our 3-point shooting was actually good. Anyways, let's get to the third quarter and see if we can maintain this lead, and also see if we could get our 3-point shooting going a little bit, just because it's been pretty bad so far. Third quarter underway. as we've been leading for this entire game so far. But obviously, it's been a really weird game. The fact that we haven't been shooting the three ball well is kind of surprising. But this honestly could be a lower scoring series potentially, just the way it's been so far here early on. But the thing is, like, we've been able to, like, basically match them point for point, so to speak. So we've been basically holding on to the same lead pretty much most of the game. But now it looks like we're all of a sudden picking up our offense here, because we are going on a little bit of a run here, but they are as well a little bit, it looks like. But I think our offense is doing much better in this quarter for sure than it was before. And at the end of the third, it's going to be a 92-75 lead. Technically, they got 3 points to start the fourth quarter. But good offensive quarter for our team, 35-29. And so far, leading away is still Evans has 17 points, but he is very close to fouling out. So hopefully he stays in the game. Goodwin's on 13 points. Westbrook's on 13. We have Bishop on 13 and 10 rebounds as well. A lot of people above 10 points, which is huge for the roster. The fact that Carroll actually fouled out already is insane, though, because I don't even think he had a lot of fouls going into the last quarter, but he fouls out with only 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. I like the rebounding and assists, of course, but the fact that he basically only had 4 points is kind of insane. He did also have 2 steals. So he was effective in some other areas, but he needs to be obviously picking up points if he can. Also, our three-point shooting is still atrocious. We're still 2 for 19. So we got to get that three ball going if we can. Obviously, if we had Rex, I think he would be able to help with that. But obviously, he won't be playing anytime soon. So anyways, let's see what happens in the fourth quarter. See if we could lock this game down. We've been leading for the entire night. Just got to lock it down for this fourth quarter, and then obviously we could take that 1-0 series lead. Let's see what happens. Fourth quarter underway. See if we could keep on building up this lead. Just keep on matching them basically for point at this point in time, because that's what we've done all night, essentially. As we're almost at 100 points, they're going on a little bit of a run here, but we're obviously still matching them for the most part. So it's not like they're going on a run where they basically... our offense just dries up completely. It's been consistent all night, which is good. It is still a close game all of a sudden. No, it's actually an 11-point game again. It was close for a little bit, but not as much anymore. And it looks like we should have this game in the bag, as we're going to take game one by a final score of 118-105. They actually outscored us in the fourth quarter. We win by 13 points, and we essentially have shown that we might be the more dominant team still. But that's a really solid game. We continue our good offense regardless. And SnipeNScore actually ended up finishing as the highest point getter on the team, which is kind of surprising, with 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. So a huge game from Dennis. Evans did foul out with 19 points, so that's the only reason why he probably didn't lead the team at the end of it. I don't really like that a couple people fouled out, but I'm hoping we'll be more disciplined going into next game. Westbrook's on 18 points, Washburn on 16, Goodwin had 13, Bishop on 13 and 12 rebounds. A lot of guys on 10-plus points. Burgess and Lloyd picked up 6 apiece. Obviously, like I said, Carroll fouled out. And then Olivero, Anderson, and Warren actually played a little bit too. I'm kind of surprised that Warren and Anderson actually got game minutes in, but I'm guessing it's because Carroll and Evans both fouled out. And our three-point shooting improved a little bit in that fourth quarter. Looks like we finished 23%, which is still not very good, but we are lucky that we still won by a decent amount, because we had, I guess, way more shots hit in terms of just normal, like, 2-pointers and all that. Both free throw percentages were pretty close. They actually outshot us in the free throws, but for the most part, pretty even first game, but we won by a decent chunk. They actually out-rebounded us defensively. We out-rebounded them offensively. Huh. Interesting. Biggest lead for us was 17 points. And their biggest lead was only 3 points, which is probably like early on into the game. Because I don't think they ever led after the first quarter. So there is that. That's a solid first game. Love to see it. Let's go back to our coach's game plan again. And once again, rebuild those rotations. But a solid start to the NBA Finals, of course. Love to see it, as we have taken that 1-0 series lead. And we haven't lost since that game against Utah, I guess. So that's kind of crazy. I do expect the 76ers to take at least one game against us, but so far it seems like our roster is doing really, really well. So anyways, let's keep the team the same. Let's get to game number 2 and see if we could take our second game on home court. If we could do that, of course, then we'll have a 2-0 series lead headed to Philadelphia. And I honestly don't know if Philadelphia is better in their home court or if they're a better road team. So maybe they're going to be much tougher once we actually go into Philadelphia. But so far, so good. Let's keep it going. First quarter underway of game number 2. And let's see how close it is again. See if it's kind of like last game where it's basically each team just matches each other point for point. Or is our offense going to explode? Or is their defensive play going to shine through? Who knows? As we go on a little bit of a downward stretch there. But at least now we're kind of matching them point for point again. This is a very calculated series so far, I feel like, to this point. Like, game one was definitely closer than it looked at the end of the day. Like, the fact that we won by double-digit points is kind of surprising in that one, as they are going to be leading after the first quarter. So the 76ers have kind of stunned us a little bit. They outscore us 30-26, so they're playing that good defensive game that they're used to, which is not great. Semenko has already dropped 9 points, so Dennis is off to a really good start again. We have Evans on 5 points. He already has 2 fouls. We definitely need Evans to be more disciplined if he can, because I can't really justify having him foul out multiple straight games, especially considering he is our best player and a typical guy that usually wins like championship MVP. So a little bit of a slower start. We're only down by 4 points still. Let's just make sure Evans stays more disciplined, and let's hopefully find a way to get that lead somehow going into the next half. Second quarter underway. Let's get her going, boys. Let's get her going. Go on a good run or something like that. We have the offensive capability to do so, and I know we could do it. Wow, damn, there's a good stretch where nobody picks up points for a while. That's kind of insane. Definitely a very, like I said, very low-scoring series in a way. Like, they are starting to build up their offense a little bit, but, like, it seems like every team is just kind of matching each other play for play, so to speak. And at the end of the first half, it's going to be a 50-49 lead for them. So they're only up by 1 point, but they did get a 2-pointer to start off the next quarter. I don't know why these keep starting so quickly, but box score so far, Semenko leading away with 13 points. We have Carroll on 9. Evans is on 7. He already has 3 fouls again. I think we're getting in a little bit of foul trouble with some of these guys, which is not ideal. Bishop has no points so far through 12 minutes. He's already on 2 fouls as well. Bridges is on 3 fouls in 12 minutes. God damn. We got to be a little bit better in terms of not fouling out. Field goal percentage right now, we're better than they are. Same was with 3-point percentage, surprisingly. And in free throws right now, they've had a lot more trips to the free throw line in this game than us. 14 trips. We've only had 4 trips. So the refs might be on their side a little bit in this one. The good thing is the game is close. And if we end up taking a lead, maybe we could draw some fouls of our own. So anyways, let's see what happens in the third quarter. It is a very neck-and-neck game. Let's see if we could find a way to get that lead, because we have not had the lead in a while, I feel like. Come on, boys. We got the offensive capability. Let's just make sure that they don't run away with this game. Make sure we stick close, because I know that we have the offense that we could randomly go on a run in a fourth quarter and win a game if we keep close enough. So keep pushing. Keep pushing. There you go, within 4. But they seem to be matching us right now, point for point, so to speak, which is not ideal. But we're still close, and this game is really close all of a sudden. Oh boy, this is a very good game. It's in the third quarter only, and now they're starting to build up a bit of a lead again. This is a crazy game so far. Crazy, crazy game. And at the end of 3, it's going to be a score of 97-90. So they have a 7-point lead. That was a really high-scoring quarter, which is uncharacteristic of this series. They outscored us 47-41. The fact that we gave up 47 points in a quarter, probably not good, but we're still within 7 points. Carroll's dropped the most points on the team right now, so after having a lackluster last game, he's been really good. 19 points. Semenko's on 18. 5 fouls for Evans already. Don't like that. Don't like that. He's on 15 points, which is good, but he's already got 5 fouls, and we kind of need him for this entire fourth quarter, so a little bit worrisome on that. Lloyd is the next highest point-getting player right now. Westbrook's on 7. Bishop's on 7. Washburn on 7. Goodwin on 5. Bridges on 2. He's already fouled out through 17 minutes. That's insane. That's like not even that much minutes, and he's already fouled out. Goddamn. Oliveira's played 8 minutes with 2 points and 3 rebounds. All right, so this has been a pretty close game for the most part. Looks like their offense has picked it up a lot. Ours has as well, but it is still only a single-digit lead for them. So we could definitely still win this game, but we need to make sure that we don't give them another quarter where they're basically getting 47 points in it. So let's see what happens in this fourth quarter. See if we could get this game close again and find a way to somehow win it. Fourth quarter underway. Come on, boys. We need our offense going, and we need to make sure that we can play good defensively too, because they're almost up by double digits at this point. We're almost building back into it. It's a 1-point game again. Don't count the Ice Tigers out just yet. We always like to claw back. That's like kind of our motto as a team. but they are still matching us point for point. Now they're up by 5 again. We're going to go down to a slow sim speed just to keep this more intriguing. It's a 2-point game with 3 minutes left. Come on, boys. You got this. You got this. You just got to find a way to get a 2-pointer to tie this game up. And, of course, they got 2 points of their own. Come on, guys. This is such a close game. Our offense is not finding itself the last few minutes. They're up by almost double-digit points again. I don't think we're going to win this game now because of that little bad stretch. Yeah, we're down by 6 points with 17 seconds. It's not going to happen. Yep. And unfortunately, we're going to lose by a final score of 133 to 125. It was a close game. But unfortunately, the 76ers will hand us our first loss in a while. And it is going to be a 1-1 series headed to Philadelphia. I don't like that they stole one of our home games. It means we definitely got to be really strong in Philadelphia as well. But SnipeNScore was the best player again on the team. 28 points, 2 rebounds, 11 assists. So he's been really good in his finals. Carroll on 23 points. Good response for him. Evans did foul out again after 24 minutes. So maybe that's definitely a reason why we lost that game. But he did have 21 points. But I got to find a way to make sure he doesn't foul out all the time. Westbrook had 15 points. Bishop had 12. We had Lloyd on 8. 7 for Goodwin. Goodwin definitely could have picked up more points as well. Washburn on 7. Bridges on 2. Oliveira on 2. And everybody else with nothing. Team comparison. Our 3-point shooting was definitely a lot better than it was in the first game, which is nice. Same goes with field goal percentage. But the difference in the game is we weren't disciplined. They had 44 trips to the free throw line. We only had 17. So I don't know if the refs were on their side on those calls or if our team was just that aggressive, but that's quite insane. So offensive rebounding, they out-rebounded us there, but we out-defensively rebounded them. And they had the ball for almost 10 more minutes than us in that game. So that's definitely a big reason too. All right, well, that's a tough one to lose, of course, but we kind of expected them to at least take a game against us, so makes sense. But definitely, like I said, this is definitely going to be our toughest finals yet. We do not have an easy time going for a three-peat here, so we got to make sure that we find a way to win at least one game in Philadelphia, or else we're going to have to come back from a big deficit, which is not ideal. So find a way to win next game, or find a way to win the game after that. Regardless, we got to find a way to win one, so let's see what our team could do here. See if obviously going rebuild rotations will help things a bit. But our team definitely needs to figure it out a little bit. And I mean, last game wasn't that bad of a game. Like, it was a close game for most of it. But there was a little bit of a stretch near the end of it where we were within like 2 points. And then our team just did not find that offense. So let's see what happens. First quarter underway of Game 3 as we're in Philadelphia now. I don't know what their arena's called, if it's the same one the Flyers play in real life or not, but let's find a way to win on the road here. I don't know if we're that good of a road team by comparison to home team, but we got to find a ways to at least win these type of games. So far, looks like another one of those close type of games, which is what we kind of expect in the series. Like I said, I do think it could go to 7 games probably. So like I said, it should be tougher than Washington last year. Washington was definitely our toughest task going into a finals last year. But then Charlotte in the first year was the easiest finals we had pretty much. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is going to be 39-29. So we built up a 10-point lead already. I'd love to see that. In terms of box score so far, Evans has already 2 fouls through 6 minutes, but he's got 8 points. So Evans, whoever he's matched up against, is having a really, really tough time. But he's still able to at least pick up points when he is playing. So it's good that he's offensively minded, but his defensive fouling and stuff like that has not been good. Lloyd's on 8 points off the bench, which is fantastic. So that's at least really good to see. Washburn's on 7 off the bench. And then a lot of our other starters have been kind of quiet. SnipeNScore's only played 2 minutes, which is not good. Hopefully he didn't get injured again, because obviously he was a very important player in the first 2 games of the series. Bishop on 4 points, Carroll on 3, and only 1 minute. So a lot of guys not playing as much minutes as you'd expect. But then again, Carroll only played 1 minute and had 2 fouls. God damn, that's probably why. And then SnipeNScore has 2 fouls in 2 minutes. We are definitely not playing the best in terms of being disciplined. Like, we could have multiple guys foul out in this game, because it looks like our team is getting a little too aggressive, or the 76ers are good at drawing fouls or something like that. But anyways, we are leading by 10, which is good, but we got to make sure that we play a little bit more disciplined in one of these quarters coming up, or else we could have guys foul out, which means requiring our bench players to do a lot better. Anyways, let's see what happens. Second quarter underway. Can we keep on building up this lead? because obviously we want to have this lead at halftime if we possibly can. And we want to make sure that we could get some trips to the free throw line, as this game all of a sudden is kind of closer again, but now all of a sudden it is still a 10-point game again. Oh, man. Yeah, the 76ers are definitely a little bit of a scary team. The first game was pretty good for us, but these other games have been kind of a little nerve-wracking at times. But that's how the playoff goes. We are still holding on to almost a 10-point lead, but they seem to keep on matching us now at this rate, point for point. And at the end of the first half, the score is going to be, technically it was 69-60, so we were up by 9. We did get the first 2 points of the third, so we are now up by 11 points, which is nice. But so far, Carroll's dropped 15 points. He's already on 3 fouls. Evans is on 3 fouls as well on 15 points. We have Washburn on 11. Lloyd on 10 off the bench is fantastic. Semenko on 6, but he's already got 3 fouls too. Bishop on 4 points, only 1 foul for him. Westbrook has only got 2 points for 13 minutes, and yeah, that's basically that. So everybody's picking up points, but the foul trouble, I think, is definitely not a good idea. The field goal percentage, they're actually shooting better than us right now. But 3-point percentage, we've been way better than they have. So our 3-point shooting at least has gotten much better since game 1. We are shooting 64%. They're shooting only 38%. And in free throw percentage right now, both teams have around the exact same amount of trips to the free throw line. So I guess technically they must be fouling us a good amount as well. All right, let's see what happens in this third quarter. See if we could continue to hold on to at least a 10-point game, because I don't want to obviously get down to the single-digit game, because that's when obviously they could take the lead. So third quarter underway. Can we keep it going, and can we find, like I said, a way just to win this game in Philadelphia? Because if we don't, we got to find a way to win next game again. So this is definitely going to be a series for the ages, potentially, if it goes 7 games, I feel like. And I don't think we're going to get any other finals that's going to be this kind of intense in a way. All right, it's a 10-point game again. We were up by 15 at one point, but then we managed to blow that a little bit. Oh my goodness, that comes by so quickly. But 93-81 at the end of the third. I would say that's pretty damn solid to have a 12-point lead at this point, but obviously still a lot of basketball left. Got to be careful on that. Carroll's already on 5 fouls, but he's got 23 points. Evans only on 4 fouls, so I don't know if he'll foul out or not. 18 points, so he could be big for us in this fourth quarter. Lloyd on 12, Washburn on 11. So it's good that Lloyd and Washburn came to play, because right now Westbrook did not come to play. Either did Bishop in terms of points. So it is good that at least a couple bench guys showed up, because or else we could be probably trailing in this game. All right, well, let's see what happens in the fourth quarter, see if we can continue to hold on to this lead. We've led most of these quarters. Let's see if we could do it. All right, 10-point game again. We do manage to get some more points on the board afterwards, though. Looks like our offense is picking itself up here in the fourth quarter, which is huge. Like I said, having Evans in for an entire fourth quarter could be absolutely great for us, and I think that's maybe what's happening here, because he was close to fouling out the last 2 games, or he did foul out, I think, in some of those games, right? And if he didn't foul out, maybe we'd win by a lot more, because we have an absolutely blockbuster fourth quarter here, as we're going to win by a final score of what, though? Definitely a high-scoring quarter. It's going to be 137-116, so we win by 21 points as we pick up 44 points in that fourth quarter. So it's good that some of the guys didn't foul out going into that last quarter, because we need them kind of for that quarter if we want to lock down games like that. It was close for the most part of the night, and in the fourth quarter, we outplayed them drastically. Carroll drops 31 points. He had 5 fouls. We had Evans on 25 points and 5 fouls. Goodwin had 18 points, 5 fouls. Westbrook on 14 points, 5 fouls. So 4 guys with 5 fouls there is kind of insane. Lloyd on 12 points, Bishop on 11, so those guys picked it up a bit too. Bishop was on 4 fouls. Semenko actually fouled out on 6, so we had a lot of guys almost being completely fouled out, which is insane. Like, what would have happened if we had, like, basically Semenko foul out and all these guys above here foul out? Who the hell would we be playing? Like, we got to be a little bit better with that still. Field goal percentages were identical, but we shot up more than they did, so that's why we were better technically. 3-point percentage, we were drastically better, so that's a big reason why we won this game. Free throws, we were better at than they were. They had more trips, but we were better at in terms of success rate. So both teams had a lot of trips, it looks like, to the free throw line. Offensive rebounds, we out-rebounded them there, but they out-defensively rebounded us. We had more steals, they had more blocks. They had more turnovers. Team fouls were more for us, surprisingly. And in team possession, both of us had 24 minutes of possession. Interesting. All right, well, that's a pretty nice little win to get in Philadelphia. Like I said, at least we took one of their games. We need to make sure that we at least took one of those games because or else we'd be in a bad spot. But now, at least we're in that spot where, regardless, we could come out of Philadelphia with that worst a 2-2 series. At best, we'll be up 3-1 and having a chance to win the championship on home court. So let's see what happens in Game 4. See if we could take a 3-1 series lead on the 76ers and be one win away from a three-peat. We just got to make sure that we're a little bit more disciplined. That's the one thing I've been a little bit pissed off about this team in this finals. I'm pretty sure in the rounds before this, we weren't getting into that much foul trouble, but the 76ers have definitely maybe got us a little bit hemmed in plays. Maybe they get like some breakout chances that we have to foul on. I'm not sure, but they definitely are the toughest team we've played yet, I think. Anyways, first quarter underway, Game 4. Let's see if we can win this, or is this going to be one of those series again that just basically are going back and forth for the entire, or this game is going to be another back and forth type of game, and the series is going to be flip-flopping back and forth too. Like I said, if we win this, we could be up 3-1. If they win this, it'll be back to square one again, which means they'll be guaranteed Game 6 if that happens. So we got to find a way to win this here, and then hopefully we could use our home court to our advantage because our fans are definitely really good fans, and it would be kind of nice to win on home court for them, but it's going to be really tough, I think, as well. So at the end of the first quarter, the score will be 33-29. All right, only a 4-point game. That's not too bad. Obviously, it sucks to be trailing after a quarter, but Evans has already dropped 11 points in 7 minutes. He's only got one foul. The fact he only has one foul is huge. It looks like our team is maybe learning from those fouling mistakes from last game, or the coach was like in the locker room, he's like, you guys got to be more disciplined when it comes to it. So really good to see that Evans only has one foul because that means he'll probably end up playing the entire game unless he gets into foul trouble later on. Washburn's on 5 points, Semenko and Bridges on 4. Everybody else is 2 and below. But yeah, definitely looks like a more disciplined first quarter for our team. We are trailing though, which sucks, but obviously if Evans is going to play this good, if we could get some guys on the bench that are scoring as well, then we could still win this game. Anyways, let's see what happens. Second quarter underway. Can we get back into this game fully? Maybe have the lead at halftime would be great as well, as we do take the lead back. All right, let's go, boys. But of course, now we're in that back and forth territory. But so far, I think Evans is going to be a big difference maker in this game if we do find a way to win. All right, come on, boys. Keep it up. It looks like we're at least matching them point for point again at this stage, which is exactly what you want to see. Hopefully, we could go on a run of our own, though, soon, because that'd be obviously kind of nice to be up by like 10-plus points or something like that. And at the end of the second quarter and the first half, the score is going to end up being... 1 second left is going to end up being 68-57. So an 11-point lead. We outscored them 39-24. That's a really good second quarter for our team, carrying that lead into halftime. Box score, Evans has already dropped 20 points in 13 minutes, but all of a sudden he went from 1 foul in that first quarter to 4 fouls at the end of the second quarter. So he fouled 3 times in that second quarter, and now again he's in foul trouble like he's been this entire playoffs. Goodwins is on 10 points as well. We have Lloyd on 8, 7 from Semenko and Bridges, 5 from Washburn. Carroll, Westbrook, and Bishop are being kind of quiet, so I need to be careful with Evans. I really hope he doesn't foul out in this game, because if he fouls out, nobody else is really doing that much that we would actually win this game. So we got to make sure Evans is not doing anything stupid. Field goal percentage right now, we're a little bit better than they are. Our 3-point shooting has been bad again, but theirs has as well. We're 2 for 10, they're 1 for 8. And then in terms of free throw percentages, both teams have had a lot of trips already. They've had 29 trips, we've had 36. Both teams are shooting 89+%. They're 97% though, so we got to be careful about that. And then in terms of like rebounding so far, looks like rebounding is a little bit in our favor for offense, but defense has been the exact same. So this is a pretty even game despite us being up by 11 points. All right, well, let's see what happens in the third quarter. Hopefully Evans puts his hands away from on the defensive side of things, because I don't want him to foul out before the fourth quarter, because if he does, like I said, we'll need somebody else to step up, because everybody else has been a little bit more on the quiet side of things. Anyways, third quarter underway. Can we build up a bigger lead than what we had before? Looks like they're getting back into this game. Looks like the 76ers on a little bit of a run here, which is not good, as it's a 4-point game all of a sudden. I really hope that Evans doesn't foul out here, man. We need him the entire night. That's the main thing in terms of winning games for us. If Evans could play a full game, we could win games easily. If he doesn't play a full game, that's when we're in a really bad spot. But looks like the 76ers are clawing back into this game. And at the end of 3, it's going to be a lead for us by only... Oh, no, it's not going to be a lead for us. 91-91. We got outscored 34-23. And it's back to square one again. Oh, boy. 91-91. Let's hope that Evans didn't foul out, because if he did, we're losing this game. If he's still in, we still have a chance for sure. And he did foul out. I knew it as soon as he would foul out, we'd be in a bit of a trouble, because nobody else is doing a lot. Like, Lloyd literally is the second highest point getter on this team right now. Evans has fouled out in every single game, I think, of this finals so far. Let me look and see if he has... I'm pretty sure he has, right? Let's see. Where's the fouls? It should be over this way, right? Oh, last game he didn't foul out, but the first 2 games of the series he did. So he's almost like... He's fouled out in 3 of 4 games in this finals. And that's going to be a big telling thing in this fourth quarter. If we lose this fourth quarter, it's because Evans decided to take a lot of fouls. He was really good offensively in the game, but the foul out already is insane considering he only had 1 foul after the first quarter. Afterwards, he ended up slashing a bunch of people in the arms or something. But, yeah, Goodwin's close to fouling out as well on 4. Nobody else is in dangerous territory, though, which is good. So, it's only Evans, but Evans obviously being our best player. And the fact that Rex Wright is injured, obviously there's not as much good talents when you have those guys on the bench or in the press box, so to speak. So, it sucks to be tied again, but it kind of makes sense, like I said, with Evans fouling out. All right, so it was a disastrous third quarter for our team. Can our team find a way to win despite Evans being on the bench already, not able to play? Fourth quarter underway. Come on, guys. We need somebody on the bench. Like, if Lloyd helps us win this game, that'd be insane. If Lloyd helps us win, that'd be insane. But obviously, like I said, having Evans in the bench area is not necessarily ideal. If we find a way to win without him, I wonder who's going to end up winning the playoff MVP this year, which is kind of an interesting thing to note. We are into the final few minutes, 3:39 left. It's only a 1-point game, so we're going to go down to slow sim speed here. It's now tied. We're into these final 2 minutes almost, and now they've taken the lead by 3. That's not good. Let's see if we can match that, though. Come on, guys. Oh, no, now they're up by more than that. They're up by 5 in the final minute. See, I knew eventually they'd take over here. This is probably... Oh, they're up down by only 3 again. Can we tie this one up? We're down by 5 again. God damn it. Now we're down by 2. We're going to jump in and watch this. This seems like a crazy game to watch. We are still in point range of getting this game at least to overtime. But obviously, having no Evans in the lineup is going to suck. But we might as well jump in and watch this just because I feel like this is definitely those type of close games that you like to actually see what's happening out there on the court. All right, I don't know if our team's in the intentional territory to foul or not, but let's jump in with 32 seconds left. And they have possession of the ball. We don't need to foul because we can still get a last-second shot if we want to. All right, we need a big stoppage here on defense. Carroll will stay with Yankushis, or whatever his name is again, Kasparis. And nice strip there, and we have possession of the ball. That's a huge strip there by Carroll. He's good at stealing, and he will lay it in to tie this game up with 15.4. A huge play on the defensive end by Carroll, stripping that ball, like I said, and then picking up the points as well. Obviously, we need a big stoppage here on defense because it being tied, of course, they could still get a buzzer beater and win this game. But this is one of the better finals games you'll see. Nice close matchup. So let's see if we could get a big defensive stoppage here, big rebound or something like that. They're not going to probably shoot it right off the hop, I'd assume, but let's make sure that they don't get into the paint and get easy buckets here. They will set the screen a little bit, it looks like. Actually, maybe they're just going to wind down the clock. There's the screen. Yankushis will shoot. No, he'll pass it over. Atkins will shoot, and he will miss. We are going to overtime. At least some good defense from our team there. Guess we're going to have to watch a full overtime as well, but 116. I don't think we've been to an overtime in the finals before. I know we have in like round 1 at one point, but this is in Philadelphia as well, so this is a little bit nerve-wracking. So we got to find a way to win and take their crowd out of it. Bishop will win the tip-off. We got 5 minutes of overtime here. Semenko will hold on to the ball a little bit, looking for an opening. Evans is on the bench cheering this on. I can see him. Carroll will shoot for 3, and he'll miss the first shot of overtime. That's unfortunate. Decent look, I guess. Here's Kasparis, I'll call him just because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Atkins throws it down to Russ Harden. Harden throws it back up to Stuart Macy, over to Atkins again. We're making good in terms of holding man on shot clock. Yankushas will shoot for 3 and he'll miss 2. As both teams trade 3 chances, but they both miss. Here's Dennis. He'll drive in. Kick it back out to Westbrook. Bridges is out there in overtime because obviously Evans fouling out. Carroll will shoot for 3 on the pick and roll, and he can't get it. Damn. Couple missed chances here in overtime. Not ideal. But at least they missed their first chance as well. Let's keep playing some good defense here, boys. Kind of bouncing them off and on defense. Macy with it in the corner, trying to break down our defense. They keep passing it around. And are they even going to get a shot off on time? They do get one, but there's a hand in the way, so that he won't get it, as both teams have not hit to start this overtime. Dennis trying to push the pace a bit. Over to Bridges. Bridges is not necessarily the best offensive player, but here he is. He'll find Carroll again. Not a lot of time on the shot clock. Carroll will drive in, make some moves. He's open. He should hit this. Yeah, he'll hit it. We have finally hit a shot as we've taken a 2-point lead. Carroll's definitely the best offensive player out there right now, Semenko, so we got to make sure that those two guys play good in this overtime. Harden will get opened here. He'll shoot for 3, and he'll miss that as well. That's kind of surprising. I don't know how good of a 3-point shooter he is, but Bridges a big rebound. Bridges will throw it into Carroll. Carroll will shoot again, and he'll miss that. What the hell was that? Why did you shoot up so quickly? Carroll is liking to shoot here in this overtime. But he's been a big difference maker in getting us into overtime, of course, with that steal and all that. I was not expecting a steal on that last play. Okay, the shot clock's winding down again. They'll shoot for 3. They'll miss it again, and a big rebound there from Dennis. Let's go, Dennis Semenko. And he'll run in with it again. Throws it to Bishop. Back to Semenko. Come on, get out of the paint. You can't be in there too long. Bridges holding onto the ball. Bridges throws it back down low again. Carroll trying to break down the defense. There's the pick from Westbrook. Carroll will shoot a little midi, and he'll miss that. Oh, my God. Both teams have been really bad in actually getting points in this overtime. They'll shoot for 3. They'll miss that, but they do get the offensive rebound. They'll shoot again, and they'll miss again, and a big defensive rebound from Bishop. They have not hit a single shot in this overtime. That's surprising. Dennis. This has been a defensive overtime. Bridges will shoot for 3. Bridges will hit the 3-point shot, and it puts us up by 5 with 1:54. Well, I didn't think Bridges had a good 3-point shot, but maybe he does. I think it's like a B or something at least. But a big 3 points from Bridges when it matters most. He's not a hugely great offensive player, but that's absolutely big in this late stages of this game. Obviously, we're only up by 5, so we got to make sure we're still playing good defensively here, though. All right, let's see if we could play some good defense on this possession, and then maybe get some more points to make this a bigger lead. Kasparis will run in, throws it into Harden. Harden will throw it back to Kasparis, who's missed a couple shots here in overtime. Kasparis trying to break down Carroll, throws it over, and there's a dunk from Stuart Macy to make this a 3-point game again. Yikes, that's a little bit scary. So there's their first points of overtime. Let's just waste some time on the clock a little bit here, boys, but make sure we get some points on this possession. Carroll trying to break down Kasparis, and he does, but he misses the shot, but he got fouled on the play. That's the 4th personal foul for Yankushas, or Kasparis, I'll call him still, just because he's hard to pronounce, but let's go. Carroll to the line. He should be good on these shots, but at least it's late in the game, so he might be a little bit worried, but let's hope that he can hit them. And yeah, it does show the banners in the championship thing. So yeah, they won in 2033 and 34, the Philadelphia 76ers. I could see those banners right there. So it'll be interesting to go back to our home court and maybe see those banners too. But Carroll will hit the first shot. That's a big one to hit. Hopefully he hits the second as well, just to help give us that bigger advantage in this game. Come on, Carroll. But this is a good spot to be in right now, but obviously we got to be careful still. Carroll will hit the second and puts us back up by 5 again. That's a big foul by Kasparis, but was the right call. He's not trying to be like Shea at all. Oh, Kasparis trying to break down Carroll. Throws it over to VJ Edgecombe, and he misses a wide open 3. I guess he's apparently a little bit injured, but he misses that shot. That's a big rebound again for us defensively. Carroll will take some more time off the shot clock, of course, because might as well. Westbrook will pick. There's a chance for Carroll for 3. He hits it. That's a massive 3. Puts us up by nearly double digits. We're up by 8 with a minute to go. What an overtime for Carroll. He's got 7 points. He's been a big reason why we're up in this game. Edgecombe will answer right back, though, with a 3 to once again make it a 5-point game. They're going to have to intentionally foul soon. But we're obviously going to rewind down as much of the shot clock as possible first, I guess. Carroll's doing all the work in overtime in terms of getting chances, and he misses that one. And now they have possession of the ball. Oh, no. Come on, guys. Make sure we're playing good defensively here. Harden will spin in, and he gets it to go. It's a 3-point game with 31 seconds. Oh, boy. All of a sudden, this game looked like we had a good lead with the 8 points, but now all of a sudden it's close again. And they will probably get last possession. They don't need to foul us. Carroll is literally doing everything offensively in terms of chances. A huge layup play there. Sneaky play there to put us back up by 5. Carroll's been huge for us. And also the retired numbers I didn't even realize because Embiid's number 21 was up there in the rafters too. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like in our arena when we have retired players and all that stuff. Oh, but what a game this has been. Carroll has been a big factor in this one. He was very good last game too, so maybe he's a playoff favorite for like an MVP type of thing, but 17.3 seconds left, and we're up by 5. We need a big defensive stoppage here, because then if we do get one, they'll have to intentionally foul us again. All right, we need a stoppage here, boys. They did get out to Edgecombe. They're going to have to shoot up a shot as soon as possible if they want to actually win this game. There's a chance for Yankushas. He hit the 3. Are you kidding me? It's a 2-point game at 10 seconds left. And they're going to have to intentionally foul Jonathan Bridges, which I honestly don't know how good his free throw shooting is, but he hit a big 3 earlier in this overtime. We need him to hit both of these shots, preferably. If he hits one, it'll still make it a 3-point game, but if he hits both of these, it's still a 2-possession game. So come on, Bridges. You got this, my man. You hit that 3-point shot, you can hit these in front of your net. You can. And he hits the first. Okay, that's a big one. That's a big one, but the next one is even bigger. So hopefully he hits this as well. This has been a pretty insane game. And this is what I kind of expected the entire series. He'll hit the second. That's a huge one at this point. I don't know if they have fouls to give still or not. I don't think so. There's a quick shot from Macy for 3. He'll miss it. And Bishop gets the rebound, and that will be it. We come back from behind, and we win in overtime 130 to 126. We've taken both games in Philadelphia, and we are 1 win away from pulling off a three-peat. That was a crazy game, but shout out to Everett Carroll. Shout out to him, man. He was one of our first picks in this mode, I think, him and Westbrook. And he was a big factor in this victory in Philadelphia. And he was like that last game too. Huge, huge win. All right, let's go to the box score. So, yeah, it looks like some of their top players are picking up good points as well. They're getting some good depth scoring, actually, because Benedict Mathern's picking up points as well. But, yeah, Westbrook dropped 27 points in this game. We didn't see him drop anything since we jumped in, but he was really good. Evans on 23 points through 19 minutes. Carroll was really good in that overtime especially. 19 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Goodwin on 15 is great. Lloyd on 13 off the bench. Bridges on 12. Like, you can see how important those bench players were. Lloyd and Bridges all played really good when they were in the lineup. So, and then Bishop's with 14 rebounds. So, a very, very big win for our team, and we get it done in overtime. All right, so we are 1 win away from another NBA championship. Of course, they could definitely still come back in a series, so we got to be careful about that. But let's once again go rebuild rotations here, and let's get to this next game and see if we could close out the 76ers here. Or are they going to force a game 6 back in their home arena? Let's see. Can we win a championship in front of our fans? Apparently Goodwin is injured. I didn't even see that. He is a playable injury. He's day-to-day with a sore left knee, but buddy, you have a sore left knee, but you got to play through it. You're not going to have as much minutes in this game, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful, and you got to hope that you could help us win here. Anyways, first quarter underway in Anchorage. Let's hopefully build off that overtime. And hopefully Evans plays the entire game because, like I said, Evans fouling out last game definitely made that game really tight. The fact that we won without him in the lineup, basically, for the last bit is huge. But we got to make sure that he plays a full game if possible. Because if he doesn't play full games, that's when we usually could get into trouble because he's such a huge piece to our team. So All right, looks like we're going to be having a very close first quarter once again. Not really a surprise on that. And at the end of the first, it's going to be a score of, technically it was 32-31 for us, but we do get a first 3-point shot of the second quarter, so that's at least good. But so far, Evans on 8 points. We have Washburn on 7, Carroll on 6, Westbrook on 5, Lloyd on 3. Goodwin's got 2 despite being injured. Looking pretty good in the depth scoring early on, which is nice. Evans already has 2 fouls in 6 minutes again. Yeah, I don't know who Evans is matched up against in these games, but he is absolutely having a tough time containing himself. I don't know who will win the playoff MVP because Evans has missed so much time basically in these last few games. Like he's fouled out so much that is he even going to have a chance at it if we do win? I don't even know. Anyways, close game so far. Let's see if we could have a lead going into the second half as well. Second quarter underway. Come on, boys. If we could go on a good run, that'd be absolutely huge for our team's confidence potentially. And hopefully Evans could just stay a little bit more disciplined in this game. Like I said, I don't want him fouling out, especially in a game that we could win a championship in. So, okay, it looks like we're building up a pretty good lead here. Our team is going on a really good offensive second quarter. This is maybe one of our best quarters in quite some time, but it is still a close game all of a sudden because they're going on a run of their own. That's pretty scary. And at the end of the first half, it's going to be a score line of 71-64. All right. A 7-point lead. It looked like we were going to run away with this game, and then eventually they started running up in the scoring as well. So that's a bit scary. But so far, Carroll on 16 points. Carroll could be a playoff MVP, but I'm not sure. Evans is on 10 points. Still only 2 fouls through halftime is really good. That means he should be able to play the last 2 quarters potentially. Goodwin, despite being injured with a sore knee, he's got 9 points. Westbrook's got 9. Lloyd's got 9. Lloyd has been pretty effective off the bench. Semenko and Washburn on 7. Bishop on 2. Bridges on 2. Oliveira has nothing. All right. And in team comparison, both teams are shooting pretty similar in field goal percentage. 3-point percentage, we are a little bit better, but both of us fairly similar. And in free throws, they've not been hitting their free throws as much. They're 67%, we're 83%. All right. Well, let's get to the third quarter. This third quarter could determine if we're going to win the championship in this game or if we're going to maybe be going to another game. We need to make sure we're still playing good defensively, and we need to make sure Evans keeps in this game as much as possible. Third quarter underway. Come on, boys. Let's build up a big lead again. I know we had a really good offensive second quarter, so let's just make sure we do that here in this quarter as well, and make sure we play better defensively in this quarter than we did in last quarter, because that's how they kept it kind of close for the most part. And it looks like we're doing some good defensive stuff here so far. We're almost up by double digits. And oh my goodness, yep, this team is running away with it. Let's go. There's still a lot of time left, though. We got to be careful. It's a 10-point game now. Yeah, they're definitely still in this. We got to be mindful of that. We can't run away with it too early on. And at the end of the third quarter, it's going to be a 92-90 lead, technically, or it was a 92-89 lead. Or not 92, 99-89, I'm trying to say. But they got the first 3 points of the quarter, which makes this a 7-point game. It is still very close, and we got to be careful about that. So far, Evans has got 22 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and nearly a triple-double for him in this game, and he's only got 2 fouls, so I think he should be playing the entire game, which is nice. Carroll also has no fouls so far, so he should be playing the entire game. Going on 15 points despite being injured. We have Lloyd on 11, Semenko on 10. Looks like everybody is still not in hugely bad foul trouble, which is good. We just maybe need a little bit more depth scoring. But Evans, if he has a big fourth quarter here, he can help us lock down this game and, of course, this championship. So we're only up by 7. We got to be careful. Got to be careful. Fourth quarter underway. Let's go on a run of our own here, boys. We are going on a little bit of a run here, as we do have a double-digit lead, but they're trying to answer back. It's a 2-point game all of a sudden. Oh, my goodness. They're going on a run of their own. I don't like to see that. Let's keep it going here a little tiny bit before we go down to slow sim speed. It's a 4-point game. And it's a 7-point game. All right, now we're starting to build up a bit of a run again. We're going to go down to slow sim speed for a little bit longer. We're up by 5 with 3:52. Now we're up almost by 10 again. It's a 6-point game with 3:34. Oh my God, come on. This is a little nerve-wracking. Up by 5 with 2:59. Up by 6 with 2:48. You know what? I think we should probably jump in soon, but I don't want to count my chickens yet. Let's jump in relatively soon, though. 6-point game still. 3-point game. Oh boy, with 2:09. You know what? We're going to jump in. We're going to jump in. It seems like it would be a good game to watch a little bit of. So let's jump in again and see if we could close them out and win our third straight championship. We're only up by 3 points. There's enough time for them, of course, to win. There's enough time for us to win, but we've got to be careful here. So let's go to choose sides on this, go to the middle, and see what we can do in our home court here. I don't know if we've ever watched a game on home court. I feel like we have, but I could be wrong. All right, anyways, here we go. Here is Goodwin. He is hurt in this game, but he is still playing. There's a quick passing play. SnipeNScore shoots for 3, and he missed it. That's not ideal. It was a good pass from Bishop to find him at that point. I'm surprised he missed it, though. He's usually a really good 3-point shooter. Matherin throws it into their Bishop. Looks like they have maybe had a couple guys foul out in this game. Bishop will hit that shot. It's a 1-point game. Oh, my goodness. They are going on a run, aren't they? At least Evans is still in this game, so let's see if he's going to be big in this or not. Evans drives in, makes some good plays in the paint, and he'll hit that. He's usually always good in there, so that's nice to see him hit that high off the glass. That's 30 points for him in the game. So Evans might be primed for a MVP still, despite all the fouling out. But we got to be careful. It's still only a 1-possession game, basically. VJ Edgecombe trying to break down our defense. Matherin won't shoot the 3. Nador will make him shoot the 3, and he will miss that. That's a huge miss. Big rebound for Dennis. Dennis kicks it out quickly. Quick play. Westbrook for 3. He hits it. A huge 3-point shot from Dana Westbrook. His 23rd point of the game. 14th of the quarter. And that puts us up by 2 possessions. That was a nice fast break play. Nice little kick out. A nice 3-point shot. Edgecombe throws it into Kasparis, and he'll hit it. It's once again a 4-point game. But that 3-point shot from Westbrook, absolutely huge in this one right now. Evans will drive in, throws it over to SnipeNScore. Dennis, you don't need to think about shooting it right off the hop yet. He'll drive in still. Dennis, way back at the point, kicks it out. Westbrook will shoot for 3 again. He'll miss that. Big offensive rebound from Bishop, and he'll get it back in. That's a huge offensive rebound, one that you have to come up with if you're the 76ers. But Bishop, huge offensive rebound, puts us back up by 6 points with 39.4 seconds to go. Absolutely big rebound there. Because if they got possession of that ball back, they could have found a way to try and tie this game up here. But, oh my goodness, that was beautiful. All right, we need a stoppage here, and then we could maybe ride out this game almost. But Bishop, big rebound. Like his tattoo, too. Shout out to that random fan wearing a purple hat. Actually, there's a bunch of them wearing purple hats. Never mind. All right, they're going to inbound the ball. Edgecombe, or no, it's Nador. Nador will hold on to it, throws it to Kasparis. They'll cycle it around. They have to get points quick if they want to. Edgecombe will put it up, and he'll miss it. Big defensive rebound by Goodwin, and he's immediately fouled by Nador. That's his 3rd personal foul, 15th foul, as that is definitely what you need is that big rebound there. And since they intentionally are fouling, if we could hit some free throws, that will make it a lot easier for us to win this game. All right. Here we go. Goodwin at the free throw dot, or whatever you want to call it. He's injured, but he's been good in this game, and he'll hit the first shot. Nicely done, Goodwin. See, that's why I still have him in the lineup. I know he's injured, but it's a day-to-day injury, and it seems like he's still playing good. Goodwin for the second shot. He'll hit it again as well. We're up by 8 points with 30 seconds to go. They are going to have to put up shots as fast as they possibly can, but our team's doing a really good job here. Edgecombe will drive in, tries to get in still, throws it out to Yankushas. He can't even shoot fast enough. They have to put up a shot here, and they'll actually hit it. I am surprised on that. We're up by 5 points as Kasparis hits that 3, and once again, they intentionally foul Goodwin as he'll head back to the line. That's the 5th personal foul for Edgecombe, so he's close to fouling out. So as long as Goodwin hits these, we should be good. 5 points is still a good enough lead almost at this point in the game, but you got to be careful still just in case. Come on, Goodwin. You got this, Herb. It's a funny name to say, Herb. Come on, Goodwin. There's a shot. Yep, he hits that one. That puts us back up by double digits. Well, not double digits, 6 points. Double possessions, I should say. And will he hit this other one to put us up by 7 and help us lock down this game? Let's see. Bam. And he hits it. Let's go. 7-point lead. That's a 3-possession game with only 15 seconds left. They take their last timeout, I think, probably. As we are 15 seconds away from pulling off a three-peat with these Ice Tigers. I don't know how the offseason is going to go, so that's going to be an interesting thing. But do you guys want me to do more seasons of this after this game, this or not? Like, we could go back through everybody's career if we want to after this game or something. But if you guys find this series a little bit boring at this point, we could always end it. But I feel like I want to see if this team could actually continue to win the more or not. So let me know what you guys think. Because the three-peat is fantastic. We could easily go for more than that. But we have to re-sign everybody almost this offseason. I think there's a lot of big players. All right, well, we are up by a decent chunk here. They're going to have to shoot up a 3 almost immediately if they want to have a chance. Naduro throw it in. Here's the 3-point shot from Edgecombe, and he'll actually hit it. It's a 4-point game. All right, so they're going to have to intentionally foul Goodwin for the 3rd time. Edgecombe is fouled out because of that, though, which means that's going to be even tougher for them to win this game because Edgecombe is obviously, I think, their highest overall player on their lineup at this point, so as long as Goodwin can hit both these shots or one of these shots, we should be good. We should be good. And it'll be a good win, as I like to say, just because of his last name. But come on, Goodwin. I don't know why they always intentionally foul him of all people, but come on, Herb. You got this. And he will miss the first shot. Oh, boy. It's a 4-point game, though, so we are at least up by multiple possessions, technically. But come on, Goodwin. Just hit one of these, at least. Hit one of these. And he will miss the second. But they don't have any timeouts, so they need to hit a 3 quickly if they want a chance in this one. Wells will shoot for 3, and he'll miss it. The Anchorage Ice Tigers have pulled off a three-peat. A three-peat in the NBA. They are officially a dynasty as they have beaten the toughest team in the league that is not themselves. And we win this series quite convincingly in Game 5, winning in front of our fans. We're fully a dynasty. These guys are all almost Hall of Famers if they're winning this much championship. It's like the Golden State Warriors back in the day. A huge championship win there. As we beat, like I said, the toughest team in the league. That's not us. Those 76ers. Huge victory as the fans going nuts. Like I said, I think this might be the first time we've actually won on home court. So it might be. But the two coaches getting together, of course. Mr. Dennis, hopefully we could have that coach still long term, but he's been a big reason why this team has been as good as they have been still. But look at those boys celebrating on the bench as they typically do. All these guys have been here for multiple championships, I'm pretty sure, except for whoever we drafted last year, I guess. But, oh my goodness, it's always cool to see these celebrations. All right, so there we are with the championship trophy. Of course, Evans will grab it because he's almost like our captain because he's the highest overall player on this team. And he'll celebrate with Herb a little bit, who's injured. And now who gets the playoff MVP? The playoff MVP, our postseason MVP. Honestly, I have no idea who it's going to go to. I have no idea. It's going to go to Evans again. Despite him fouling out multiple times in the series, based on this last game, they give him the MVP again. So Evans is literally going to be a historic player if we keep on going through the series. So that's another thing that will be kind of intriguing, is if we want to do more seasons of this, we could see Evans being one of the most decorated players in NBA history. Huge win on that game for our team. Let's go. All right, box score. But yeah, see, Evans, this is why he won that award, because 30 points in 39 minutes, 8 rebounds and 11 assists, nearly a triple-double for him. He also had 2 steals and a block, so fantastic game for Evans. Westbrook was really good, too, with a clutch 3, of course, late in the game, 23 points. Goodwin on 19, 8 and 5. Goodwin was actually really good despite being hurt. Carroll on 16. We had Semenko on 15, Lloyd on 11, Bishop on 7 and 10, Washburn on 7, Bridges on 4. Nothing from Olivero. And then Anderson and Warren played a little bit, but didn't have a point. That's a nice win. Let's go, boys. Evans is so good, man. It's actually insane how good he's been in the series already. Like, we're going to definitely have to look at how much awards he has now at this point, but there we go. The three-peat is successful. I don't think I've had a three-peat in a series since my Winnipeg Jets franchise in NHL 24, I'd like to say. So there we go. Evans, the finals MVP. And like I said, let's look at his career awards, because he's been absolutely insane by the age of 24. 3 NBA championships consecutively, 2 regular season MVPs consecutively, finals MVP in both 2035 and 37. 2036 was Rex Wright, but still, Evans has 2 MVPs in the finals. He's got 4 All-Star appearances, 2 first-team All-NBAs, and he also was a 6th man in 2034. So, absolutely insane so far what he's put together. And he could be literally like LeBron James, like I said. When we drafted him, he had a LeBron James comparison, and he's definitely been just as good as LeBron, or if not even better than that. So shout out to Jerome Evans so far. Absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see what's to come from him, because 26.6 points per game during regular season this year, I think he could have a 30-point season maybe at one point, but fantastic player. And at least Rex gets another championship despite being out with an injury for a while. Everett Carroll was actually injured in that last game too. I didn't even realize. Damn. Because if we go to, where's the injuries again, or the roster? Yeah, Carroll was injured in that last game with a high left ankle sprain, which that could be a developing factor. I mean, he is closer to retirement, which is not great, but that's a little bit scary that he went down with that big of an injury in that game. How many minutes did he play in that game, out of curiosity? Let's see. Where is the minutes stuff again, or the stats? Or is there a game-by-game stat thing? I think there was, right? Oh, yeah, here you go. 18 minutes with 16 points. Yeah, that sucks that he had that injury, because that injury could be huge at his age. He's 32, so hopefully he doesn't retire in the offseason or something like that. But, yeah, winning that championship without Rex is pretty impressive. Like, literally, that shows how deep our team is. Like, Rex Wright being on our team, we would have convincingly beaten any team. But we easily still won, despite not even having him in the lineup since round 1. So, shout out to this roster. Let's take a look at our player stats from the playoffs, and then that'll be it for this episode, I think. Just because this episode is actually already running kind of long, but player stats here. Best in points per game was obviously Evans on 25 points, though, but Westbrook was almost 20 points per game. We had Semenko on 17. Carroll on 15.6. Wright was on 15. Same with Goodwin. Bishop on 13.4. We fought through a lot of adversity this year, too, with the injuries we've had. So I was pretty impressed, I think, this season, more than any other year up to this point in time. Bishop on 10.6 rebounds per game. Carroll was definitely one of the distributors on the team. Stealing, everybody's pretty good at stealing here as well. Just everything looks really nice, man. I am really happy with this roster again. And like I said, everybody here is like a 3-time champion, but there is a little bit of chance that we might lose some people in the offseason. I'm hoping that's not the case, but literally we took the best team out in the East in 5 games, and our only losses were basically the toughest team against us was Utah, which is kind of surprising. So Utah might be the type of team to win championships eventually, but now if we go to our team as a whole, you can see obviously 3 championships and 6 playoff appearances. Crazy. And we only have an average age of 25 too, so we're still a really young team, and we could definitely still win more if you guys want me to. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Anchorage Ice Tigers Draft to Glory franchise mode, or MyNBA, whatever you want to call it. So in next episode, if you guys want me to continue the series, we'll have the entire offseason. We'll see what this team's looking like going into the next season again, but this team should be easily primed up to still win more championships as long as we're able to re-sign mostly everybody in the offseason. So let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time.